Good afternoon, City of Lathrop. I am your host, Raj Singh. I am here today with a candidate running for Lathrop City for a council seat for an election November 3rd, 2020. And I have my co-host Gurtej involved with me. And as you can see on the screen, there are two Raj. I'm Raj Singh, and the candidate is Raj Nagra. And I would like Gurtej to give a brief introduction about the candidate running for Lathrop City Council's election. Gurtej, please go ahead.
Thank you, Raj, and thank you, Raj Nagra, for coming here and willing to share your vision, your scope, as well as what issues you are seeing. So, about Raj Nagra, he is an engineer by education and an entrepreneur for many years, and working on diverse things in the around him to uplift the community as well as uplift and mentor the younger generation. Now, I'll request Raj Nagra to please share some more about him.
Thank you, Gurtej and Raj, and bringing me on to Six of Tracy. Um, well, I came down to US in '97, and as a mechanical engineer when I was in Bay Area, I was looking for my jobs, so I had to go back to college and improve my skill sets. So I went to Dianza and then went on to software. So I was hired with Applied Materials. Then from Applied Materials, I went out to EDS as a project manager. So held some projects with the development team and then the core QA team, and did some lot of work over there. So way back in 2005, then I got hired with Net Deposit. So we were the first in 2005. President Bush, he signed up a bill where you can electronically cash the check. So we developed the whole software, starting from 8 people to almost a company of 140 people. And so it was a whole new project. And while doing so, there was a lot of things which we faced. Like we had good clients, we had not a good client. And then by 2012, same thing happened. They came and said, "Look, now we have to send all these projects to develop to India. So those people are going to support from India." And I thought, like, what can I do, kind of stuff. So I moved to Seattle and started a educational training institute where we could train people, and literally we trained almost 3,000 people in commercial driving. I was marketing for it, and then got that thing working down for us. So right now, again in Stockton, I'm setting up all these projects, and we have teamed up with another company that's called Free World, which they take in some inmates who are coming out in the on probation or something. We're setting them up, we're getting them training, getting them jobs, and with all these things going on, so we are moving forward, engaging some more people where we could get them some good training and get them started with the jobs. In Lathrop, I've been here now 3, 4 years. I have 2 kids. My daughter goes to UC San Diego. My son is he's doing BS engineering in Sacramento State, and my wife, she commutes all the way to Dublin for job. And so this is what we have in Lathrop. So that's what I'm here for now.
Thank you, Mr. Nagra, for highlighting and sharing your introduction, your life, and how when you came to this wonderful country and you went to Dianza. You lived in Bay Area, and something to share between you and me. I lived in San Jose for 12 years. I went to San Jose State. I'm a San Jose State graduate. So it's wonderful to see how many people are actually coming to Central Valley to make this their hometown. It's a beautiful county, San Joaquin County, and there's a lot. Obviously, that being said, there's a lot of parts we need to keep improving, but the improvement gonna come with intellectual personalities, the educated people, and they are stepping into it. So now, as we are having our today's show's name, Straight Talk with the council member running for Lathrop City Council. So I'm gonna get straight with you to know what made you decide, first of all, to run for a public office.
See, Lathrop, living in Lathrop, we in Lathrop feel that there is no straight communication. There's no straight exchange between the public, the residents, and the city council. Once the city council is done, they we are not there's no engagement. There's no city council member coming out to the residents asking them what are your problems, what do you want us to do for you. That's one big thing which needs to be addressed here. Secondly, when you go out there, uh, Lathrop is growing now. Lathrop, like every year, we got at least 1,000 permits for houses. So all these people from Bay Area, they are moving down to this place over here. And when they are looking going out, they are again going out to Bay Area for their jobs. So there was something which brought me thinking like why this is happening. I need to get into the council. Let's get into the council. Let's bring these new ideas. Let's bring these new changes. That for the change, I want to go to the city council to get these things done, so that these things are addressed. If they are not addressed, by the time another 5 years or another 10 years, we will have almost double the population. San Joaquin County is projected to double in population in 10 years. So we need to work on this. We'll be another Bay Area by 10 years. If you see by population, there's no growth in this place. This is still considered agricultural society, but there's no agriculture land here now. In Lathrop, we don't, I see one element park. That's what it is. But there's no agriculture. Then we have to have these people move from agriculture mindset to technology, to medical field, to warehousing, to industrial jobs, so that people can go and get some jobs. That's what we are trying to do over here. So for this, I'm just going ahead to the city council to get something done over there.
So my takeaway from your answer to my question, what made you decide is that you're keeping your top priorities, making sure transparency is there between the governmental body and the residents of Lathrop, and bringing new ideas and innovation,
Yeah.
and focusing on the jobs. So people, they're commuting and they are making this a hometown. They have something to work with, for especially like you said, you have something in your own family. Your wife commutes to Dublin,
Yeah.
and it's a matter of a quality of life. How do you bring that in your town? So those are really overall great ideas, and I think I believe all the people that are running for Lathrop, they all care about the Lathrop city, and they're all probably focusing on this. But to kind of make it more clear, understand, when you talk about that the council is not being transparent, people, they don't know what the issues are in the town. If you get elected, what kind of transparency and how will you bring that? Can you lighten us on that?
Okay. See, if I am there in the office, right, I need to see I need to see a plan. Like, okay, we need to plan for, let's say, for jobs. So I want some jobs to be done. So we need this year, being COVID-19, we had some difficulties with small scale industry. We had difficulties with stores. So in Lathrop, when we go move around, there are some stores which were there, they're shut down. Restaurants have shut down. There are bars who are shut down. So first of all, we need to work with these people to bring them back. So that these spots which are lying vacant, they could be occupied again. Next is small scale industry. So with small scale industry, we need to get industry supporting the large. So if we get a large scale industry, but we don't have the supporting industry down here, then there will be a problem too. So the large scale industry will not get their resources, and slowly they'll find a way to move out. Then move on to the large scale industry. If we build a plan, a infrastructure, we build them, we assign an infrastructure, we have some buildings, we give them some uh, benefit in taxes, benefit in resources, they will come and work over here. But I had a plan, I had a talk with the city manager, Steve Salvatore. And he was agreeing to this, like, we need to get these people over here. Recently he gave me an example of, they opened up a warehouse for Wayfair. So they worked it in like 9-10 months. That warehouse was working. They are now building another plant. But Lathrop cannot have warehouses by itself. If I go there and I build warehouses, then in a warehouse, how many people are going to work? Maybe 200, maybe 250. But we have a population which is again migrating back to Bay Area. I have my son, I have my daughter. They are going to college. They are getting a degree in engineering. They're getting a degree in biosciences. But where is the job? They will go back again. They may stay there where they are studying. They will go back to Bay Area. So we need to get them something which can work over here. It's not Lathrop alone. It should be with Tracy also doing it. With uh, you had a council member coming up in Ripon. They should also do it. Stockton should do it. But we as a Lathrop is a central. Uh, we have a central destination. You could, in a Lathrop, you could go Sacramento, 60 miles, Bay Area, 60 miles. We are sitting in a major spot. So we can do it, but we need to go build infrastructure for them. We need to go uh, get the small scale industry for them. We can then go and meet out the people so that they come. So we almost, if you see Lathrop, I would say, 30% of the Lathrop is now getting engineered, not forklift workers. So they are not forklift workers now. 30%. They are not ready for their $15-20 job. They want a bigger job. Like, they want something bigger than like 50, 60 $1,000. So we need to get them all these things over there. So I will try to make up a plan, get the infrastructure in place, and then move forward to see what industries we can get over here.
That's wonderful. And something to follow up on that too. You talked about the infrastructure, and other part, you have an engineering technical background. You talk about the new ideas, innovation. So that being said, this is something came to me yesterday. I was talking to, I have a few friends that live in Lathrop and a couple families too. So they were having trouble talking to me on the phone while they were driving back to their house. They're like, oh, we do not have a good network in
Mhm.
Lathrop.
Yeah.
So something about that, like you said, you need to actually know from your residents what kind of challenges and problems they are facing. So they're buying the new brand new houses where they're living, and they're like, hey, there's no good network. I need to be in my house connected to the internet in order
Yeah.
to talk to you if you want to hear me nicely. So what kind of plan, or how do you foresee being elected official, that what kind of things you would be trying to bring to close that gap?
Yeah. See, yeah, you're right. The network is an issue. That's for sure, right? When I was talking to Steve, there was some training going on, and his Wi-Fi was so bad. I said, "Hey, this is something you need to work on. Your network is not supporting you. It's crumbling. Like, why don't we get? I spoke to a student. Now it's all online courses. Like, you have to have a network." He says, "I cannot get the network. I have to go to Starbucks, and
Mm-hmm.
even if they say, oh, it is closed, go away from there. I cannot do anything." So I was talking to Steve, like, what we have here is we literally depend upon Comcast, right? Same thing. So what best can we do to get another company, or what best can we do to ask Comcast to improve the network over here? For industry, I will tell you, in Lathrop, in Stockton, the industry is not ready to come, literally, because of this infrastructure. Because first of all is the communication. This communication for them to operate over here, that is not there. We need, if they want to come here, the first question will be, we don't get a good internet. We cannot do this, right? So when I was talking to Steve, he says, yeah, this is a problem. We need to work on it. But then he came down to what about the rooftops. So we don't have then that many rooftops for the community, for the companies to come and improve it. So they are always asking us, hey, we can do up to this much. We cannot go more than that unless there is a substantial rooftop involved. So then keeping that in mind, if if it can be put forward, introducing another company, give a competition to Comcast. Like let's say, let's go to AT&T. AT&T was serving this thing; they are gone out, so there's no AT&T right now over here. So let's bring AT&T. Let's bring. There could be some other uh, network people. They want to come down over here. Let's talk to them and get them over here. I don't know. They will agree to this or they won't agree to this. What will be their challenges? We have to work with them. Unless Otherwise, we are going to stick to the same issue. So we have to work with these companies. We have to work with these companies to get them what they need to improve the communications all over in Lathrop. And meanwhile, in Lathrop, it will go down to Mintique also. It will go down to uh, Stockton also. If required, we have to work with. If they want rooftops, we may have to work with Mentica. We have to ask them, okay, you can come and join us. We can develop the whole thing. So it has to work in conjunction with all these companies. If not, then probably your friend was asking you, I don't get good communication. You may have to stay another 2, 3, 4, 5 years till they get the rooftops over here.
Yeah, no,
Thank you so much for addressing on this issue. And Kritesh, I promise I'm stopping my questions there. I'm handing over to you
yeah,
to
no,
keep us going forward.
yeah, supplementing that, yeah, you're right. The communication, open communication should be there. That's how the company should be incentivized, or a message should be sent to the other competitors that there is a need. Unless somebody will tell them, they will not going to come, especially in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Their main focus is in the big cities. So as you touched about the COVID aspect, so how it's impacting the small business, and you are also a small business owner. So in current situation, unemployment and very much impact on the small businesses. So how do you see the future in that aspect? So what is city council, what is city administration can do to support the small businesses in the future?
Yeah. See, Lathrop, they had a small business. They were grants. They were doing on the Lathrop side. They were doing a $3,000 grant to the small business. So you fill up an application, you get $3,000. Uh, but if we need to go more than that, we cannot say, okay, $3,000 done. That's what we could help. No. When we are getting a business, number one, we have to help them in their permits. We cannot say, okay, here's your initial permit, go start building, and then we keep on transitioning from there, and it takes about 1 year, 1.5 year to get the permits. No, this whole thing has to stop. If a person has been told do this, and they come back and say, okay, do an inspection, give me a permit, we need to go and get back to it as soon as possible. There have been incidents in Retro where people have not been provided permits. They were provided permits. It took them 1.5 year to get a permit, and then once they got the permit, the COVID-19 started. And if it's a small business, that guy is also spending money. He does not have tons of money. Like if it's a large business, they have some money set aside. They can even wait for the permits and all. Small business guy, he does not have that much money sitting in his pocket, wherein you can take your time for the permits. I will be okay with it. No, we have to support them to get these things as soon as possible. We need to go back and tell him, hey, this is done. Okay, go do this thing, go do this thing. We need to guide a small business guy and help them. If they are not doing this, and I know some instances they have not done it, small business will say, I cannot survive in Lathrop. Let me
Mhm.
go to Stockton. Let me go to Tracy. Then again, we are on the ground. We are looking for a small business. We are looking for some facilities which we will not get in Lathrop. So we have to improve on that. Secondly, when the small business comes over here, we need to support them. We need to advertise. We need to do whatever to get them started. Once they get started, they will develop their own business. They will tell people, they will offer the people. And once that is done, it should be good enough for other businesses to take care of that. That's very important over here.
Right. Yeah, no, thank you for touching that. Yeah, so there should be more communication, more proactiveness from the government side to support the needy ones in this dire situation.
Yeah.
So as job opportunities you mentioned, yeah, it will take gradual steps, small steps from small scale to big scale, bringing the job opportunities. But no, then as you feel that personally also the transportation wise, if somebody has to travel to Bay Area, so approximately 100,000 people they travel on daily basis across the Altamont Pass from the Central Valley.
Yeah.
There is a Valley Link train that public transportation is in thoughts too, and there are other opinions too. So, what are your take on that? How that can be approached in the meantime till we get the jobs here?
Okay. See, getting onto the road, I personally say if I have to get onto the road, it's something which I hate. Like if I have to travel, I can go 30 miles. That's the maximum. If I have to go for a job, if I go for a job, I'll get a job somewhere in San Mateo or something. That's beyond me. I cannot get into that place. For us also, once we pass Tracy, there's the hill. So if there's something wrong in the hill, we do have no way out. We don't have no exits. We don't have nothing. So we are stuck in that hill. So, and then the Valley Rail, they came out from Lathrop going down to the BART station. It's a good project. At it should happen at soon as possible. Now it was what you call approved in 2018. The committee happened last 2 years. We are working on it. We are getting the environmental report, but it's still not there. It was supposed to be there in fall, but it's not there yet. So if and it's sure, like once the fall comes back, there will be impact of COVID-19. It'll go to the next year. If this thing is not prioritized, if it is not worked on priority, this whole it's a $1 billion project. It's a, for sure. I talked to Steve. He said we are coming up with it's a $1 billion project. And but if we do not put time in factor, if we do not work with time, that 1 billion will go to 2 billion. That's for sure. Apart from that, the people who are going to take this train, they will have to suffer on the roads. Today it could be 1 hour to Dublin, where the train will take 45 minutes, but it will be peaceful and getting less people off on the road. It will that 1 hour taken on the road, by another 2 years or 3 years, it will be 1.5 hours, because more people coming here, more people getting back on the road. So we need to get this thing done so that it eases out the pressure on the road. Again, if we if this thing and this if you look at this project, if it starts from Lathrop, Tracy, it's all done. We have the H train running up to Tracy to Fremont. That Tracy, we don't have to. Only thing is between Tracy to Livermore. That's where the hill is, where they have to go and look into it. Literally saying, I don't see it as a problem in going and doing the environment study, going where the station will be, where it is not. So I feel they should speed up the process, and I will, if I am on the commission, I will try to see what best we can do to get this done as soon as possible. Number one. Number two, not many people know about this project. That's another thing.
Right,
If someone is telling you, we are coming up with the train. Oh yeah, we are coming up with the train. When it is coming, right?
right,
You should be able to tell the people this project is in line. Then the people will ask you, what are you doing? How fast you are doing? That's where your responsibility is questioned now. You're accountable for that. You're not telling nobody. There's a meeting October 14th. I am reading it. I know it. But how many people are reading it? How many people know it? They're not known. So you should tell them so that your accountability is also sustained. Like, okay, these guys are doing a good project, or these guys are not doing the project. people will give their comments. What should they do? There could be intellectual over here. He has worked in that field. He may come up with an idea. "Yeah, this is what you have to do. This is what you can do." But I literally the council members, mayor, anything, they are not experienced. They are there for their judgment, they are there for their voice. But the people who have worked in this field, they know what should be done. But if this thing is not told to them, this is not projected to them, no one is going to give the feedback. There's a meeting on October 14th, right? They will have a meeting, they will bring some points, they will do agenda of the meeting, this thing, and that's it. Then the next meeting will come. But if someone has told, okay, these things have to be taken care of, let's take care of these things will move faster. That's what it is.
Right. Yeah, no, transparency and accountability, that's the
It
key.
has to be there.
Yeah, so that will drive the interest from the citizens. They will start asking the questions, and that's how the things will get done.
Yeah.
So now I'll take it back to Raj to continue us further into a discussion.
Thank you, Gurtej, and thank you, Raj, for highlighting on such imperative points. They are not only important just only for Lathrop, but overall for our county as well. So something to kind of get away from now, jobs and innovation. There's another aspect when you're running for a public office, it's for the public safety. So what's your vision on the public safety?
As the Lathrop is again growing, and for now we're getting more people over here, and everyone is looking for public safety. Like my safety is my concern, right? So now we are getting up a police department. The building is in, like I said, like 60% or 70% is building is ready. That's good. So we were on a contract with the San Joaquin County Sheriff Department. So we we are spending a lot of money on public safety. So that's good. We can continue with that, but we need to get those people uh, trained. We need to get our people trained. We need to staff the police department. So we need to get more people to do the job. Next is fire. We have uh, two stations right now commissioned. One is up in Mossdale area. One is back in River Island. There are people over there who are responding to our fire needs. But again, on the east side, we are left behind. So we don't have any fire station over this side. Uh, I don't think so. I don't know whether we may have it in plan in couple of years to get, because the industry is coming up onto the east side. So we may have something in plan. If not, we will have to look into that. So we get another fire station, then that should cover the Lathrop area. Uh, Public safety for police, Lathrop is uh, there's another problem which it's not affected Lathrop as much, but it has offshore affected Manteca, and it's always been a problem in Stockton. That's homelessness. So we want to control that. We want to see that we don't get people in Lathrop. Uh, if we get it, we need to have an address, like how do we take care of them? How do we get them to there? If we don't have a plan and these people come into Lathrop and they set up their camps and pitch their tents over there, then the whole thing will go upside down. Like we won't be able to take care of them. So this is important. Like we need to see that public safety is always a challenge, always needed, and always a priority with Lathrop. That's what it is.
Thank you so much for highlighting on my question, and I think I didn't want to say this, but again, yes, as a candidate's perspective, you need to be visionary, and I do see that quality that you were thinking ahead. And if there's no plan, the plan needs to be there, whether or not it's the right or wrong plan. That's a later on part, but you need to start thinking ahead, and that is what any city would love to see in a person who's sitting in the public office.
Yeah.
So thank you for addressing on that. And I want to just kind of remind everybody we're hitting our 30 minutes window. And if we haven't addressed something, Raj, that you would like to share with for your voters, please go ahead and do so.
Yeah. I have a couple of things which affects the quality of life. Lathrop needs banks. We have only one bank here, Chase Bank. But we, whenever there are so many residents, they are doing stuff. They have to go all the way to Manteca, all the way to Stockton. So we should plan, we should get some other banks in Lathrop. Secondly, COVID-19 happened. The city hall was closed. It's still closed. It gives us an opportunity to bring some of the things which we have to get from the city hall, bring it online, so people can do it anytime at home. So we need to develop that. We can develop it, so so that those things one by one, whatever we are depending upon the city, should be able to get it. Permits, transparency, online. That's what very, very important. We should have that. That's what it doesn't need to be like to put everything over there. Here's the permit applied. This is what is happening. This is what's not happening. So if someone tells you, "Oh, I did apply a permit, I didn't get it," we could go and see, "Oh, what did you do? What is required? What's not is required." I don't think so. We have to hide anything. If something is to be required from the person who applied the permit, and you can say, "This is what you need to do, please go ahead and do that," then probably the next step will happen. So we have to bring the city online. That's for very sure. We got to do this. Then last thing, very important, is people, is stores. We have a Target, we have a Save Mart, and there was the only store which opened. The first one is the Larina supermarket. That was the only store we started. Then they came, then Save Mart came, and then the Target came. Target is like, I don't think so. It's like 12 years or something like over there. But it is time to have some more stores, some more retail. So plan it now, get it started. It'll come in steps. It's not going to, okay, here's my plan, 15 stores are going to open. No, let's have a plan. Let's have one store, two stores uh, to start with. Then people will appreciate it. That's what they are. They want it. They want to have it, and it's the only opportunity there, because there are so many stores. They have gone everywhere, so we can tie up with some store and get them over here. That's the only way we can do it. If we don't do it, I don't think so. We'll get any of the stores over here. So these are what I envision should be done in Lathrop. So to get Lathrop growing, to get Lathrop moving, and I believe all these things can be done. That's what it is.
Yeah, no,
Thank you so much. And Gurtej, I'll let you do the last part. Go ahead.
yeah, no. One thing I was thinking. So in Lathrop, there's one urgent care hospital. So what is your thoughts on that? So as you have mentioned that in a couple of years or pretty soon the population will double. So does the city need a new thought process in that direction right now?
Ye- Yeah, there's only one urgent care. Number one, with urgent care, you could not go and you cannot have a PCP provider with urgent care. So urgent care is something I want to do it. It works from 8 to 4. From 4 to 8, we don't have nothing over here. Uh, then we have a hospital in French Camp. We have a hospital in Manteca, that's for sure. But we want some more doctors to be here. Uh, I did hear uh, they have a plan now to get Kaiser coming in here, but Kaiser is coming. If it is there, it's very good. We need to get some doctors here. So internal medicine, some specialization, some dialysis, something which we could then, it could be used by everybody. It could be used by Manteca, it could be used by Tracy or something. But there should be something here too, where the people from Lathrop can go and get their uh, get them work checked with them. But if I have, my daughter is allergic, if something happens at 2 o'clock in the night, I have to run all the way Manteca, I have to run all the way to Sutter. So Why not right now, as the households are increasing, get something here too, so that we can use them. We can use them, and it'll be still. There are senior citizens. There are senior citizens in the east side. They have a complaint. They say we need someone over here who could take care of us. So we need a healthcare system down in Lathrop too.
Right. No, to start with, at least a smaller facility, but it has to be a 24/7
Yeah,
facility.
24/7.
Can need it. So we are almost near the end. So we'll request you. So please share your thoughts with the voters why they will come out for vote for you in on November 3rd.
See, if the Lathrop voter is looking for a change, if they want to move forward, if they want their issues to be addressed, if they want to go to the city hall and city hall should respond to them, that is the only thing which then they should vote for me. I'm not saying that I will be able to do everything. I will start in this process there because it's a team. I have to go work with the team. I have to go tell the team, and I have to get these things started. If if the team, I hope in the city hall and the city, they will accept my proposals. They will work with me, and that's why the people should come. And I will say, if I'm elected, I will do it. If not, people should go and talk to the city hall. They should go and have their questions with the city hall. If they are not going there, this is not my issue. I am not going there. This is my issue. They are not addressing it. Things will not change. It will remain the same. You will be told something, but something else will happen. And if it is acceptable, good for it. If not, let's go for a change.
No, thank you
At the
very much.
end,
Go ahead, Raj.
sorry. Thank you so much for giving your closing statement on this. I'm pretty sure the voters would make the informative decision on November 3rd, and there's other candidates too. They're gonna listen to them as well. So at the end, I would like you to actually tell, like you said, you would be bringing in transparency. If anybody would like to ask you a question, reach out to you. Can you share your contact information with them? Whatever you are
Yeah.
comfortable with. It could be phone number, email address, Facebook, whatever you like.
Okay, so I could be reached on my phone number. My phone number is 510-789-8780. My Facebook page is there, Raj Singh Nagra for Lathrop City Council. And my email is raj1singh@yahoo.com. So you can reach me at any of these. I will, it takes me maybe an hour or so to get to that. I'll respond to it. And if we are doing some meet and greet during this week, and it'll be posted on the Facebook where we are meeting. You can come there. It's always 5:30 to 7:30, and you can bring your questions. I want as hard as it can be, so I can address those. And if not, I will always learn from you. So that's what it is.
There you go, guys. If you guys need to get hold of this guy to answer your questions, you know how to do that. Thank you so much, Raj, for giving your time this afternoon. And it was a very it was honor for us and our pleasure to talk to you. And we wish you a good luck and go march forward. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Gurtej, and thanks for Raj for your time.
Thank
And
you.
good luck to you too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.